Also, you might have heard yesterday that Donald Trump announced another run for president
Okay.
ahead of, yeah.
Why would he do that?
It was like late at night.
Because he keeps losing.
Ahead of Trump's announcement, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis was asked about the
This would be like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers the first year when they went 0-14, asking the NFL if they could have a couple of more games. Willie, I don't understand this.
Okay.
You remember the Bucs when they had the pastry colors on? And
yeah.
John McKay was their coach.
Yeah. I think it was a little like wah-wah.
I love that.
So,
but
anyhow,
they started 0-14. If you were 0-14, would you go to the league and say, hey, can we play 3 more games? Because that's what Trump's doing right now.
No, I might humbly leave the stage, but I think that's where we're different.
Well, the league might say no. I don't know about the league. So, but DeSantis responded to some comments that President Trump made about him, DeSanctimonious and all this stuff. Take a listen to Ron DeSantis.
We focused on results and leadership. And, at the end of the day, I would just tell people to go check out the scoreboard from last Tuesday night.
Oh, George Conway, you have a new opinion piece in the Washington Post entitled, Trump is out for vengeance and to protect himself from prosecution. And you write in part, quote, a big reason Trump announced his run is he fears criminal prosecution. He's a desperate man, a threatened and rabid animal who could face multiple indictments, the stolen classified documents, Georgia over the next year. He thinks running for president and the specter of violence from his fringiest supporters will protect him from the prosecutors. If he's indicted, he promises problems in this country, the likes of which perhaps we've never seen before. And he'll make good on that promise. As Senator Mitch McConnell said last year, Trump was determined to torch our institutions on the way out in January of 2021, merely because he lost an election. So just imagine what Trump would do to stay out of jail. And, in the announcement that Trump made, it's important to note that his daughter, who was a big part of the campaign, he always really enjoyed bringing her on stage and really engaging her in the political process. She says she loves her dad, but she's out of politics. She's not doing this.
Yeah, she's getting out of politics. You also had other people. We had quoted Matt Gaetz before. Matt Gaetz. Oh, here's what Ivanka said.
This time around, I'm choosing to prioritize my young children, the private life we're creating as a family. I do not plan to be involved in politics. While I always will love and support my father going forward, I will do so outside the political arena.
Yeah, so she's supporting outside the political arena, and we've heard the same thing with Jared also. But George Conway, it's very interesting. No politicians lining up because the ring. Even Matt Gaetz, who we quoted before, was going to fly down for it, and then he announced yesterday he couldn't come because of weather. I checked my weather app. It looked pretty good, actually, in between DCA and PBI, but he didn't make the flight. This is a wounded politician, isn't it?
He is. He absolutely is. He does not carry the weight that he once carried. They're clearly not as afraid of him as they once were. They clearly don't want to kiss the ring in the way they once kissed the ring. But the problem is he's still there, and he still has a chunk of the party, of the rank and file members of the party who are almost cultishly in support of him. And he's going to he'll burn the house down before he lets anybody else take the nomination for him. So if somebody's going to challenge him, and I think it has to be a one-on-one challenge because of the way the delegate rules worked out. If it's a multi-candidate race occurs, I think he's going to win it with 30 or 40% of the vote. So I think the Republican Party has a problem. They have to fight Trump or let him self-destruct. But they're going to be in the blast radius. It's just a terrible Hobson's choice that the Republican Party faces.
And he's also, George, as you write about in the piece, under investigation. And part of this, he thinks, is to protect himself from prosecution. You've got a couple of federal probes. You've got the Fulton County, Georgia probe, all the stuff that's going on in New York on a civil and criminal level. There's a lot swirling around him in which he could be directly implicated. But just for people to make clear from your legal perspective, does this protect him in any way from any of that?
Absolutely not. It's basically basically it's kind of blackmail. It's a threat. It's a threat of violence, trying to deter prosecutors by threatening impliedly civil disorder. He's done that a number of times. And it would be, if something like that does happen, then he'd say, oh, these are the things that happen when bad people do bad things to me. And he wants that to happen. And that's why, in part, he's running. And it's dangerous. It's just a dangerous thing.
And the judiciary has made clear those investigations continue regardless of whether he's a candidate or not. Susan.